Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Waves from slidenerd here. I'm using NetBeans over here. In the last video, I showed you guys what is the car problem that we are trying to solve with object-oriented Java. In this video, using this NetBeans, I'm going to complete this problem and show you guys exactly how to think and how to make things work in object-oriented Java. So here, once again, to give you a problem review, if you're watching this for the first time, a car has a certain fuel efficiency, which we can say as mileage, a certain amount of fuel in the gas tank. Initial fuel level is 0. You have to simulate driving the car for a certain distance, reducing the amount of fuel. And also, you need to find a way to get the current amount of fuel in the tank. Ensure that you take the car's mileage into account for all this. Now, this is the problem we had at our hand. In the last video, I discussed that the main thing that we are interested here is the car itself. So I'm going to make a class of the car by saying class car. Notice how I have given the class name. The first alphabet is capital, the remaining alphabets are small. This I have discussed in my video called naming conventions of Java, which is the first video on my playlist. So here the class car has been made. Now ask yourself two questions. What properties does a car have with respect to this problem? What actions does the car perform, or what actions can you perform with the car? Now again, if you guys remember, we identified nouns, which are the properties, verbs, which were the actions. So here a car has a certain fuel efficiency or mileage, so I can say mileage over here. Certain amount of fuel in the gas tank, so I can say amount of fuel here. Again, notice how I'm naming the variables. Amount of fuel is having the first word amount, which is completely small, second word of, whose first alphabet is capital, third word fuel, whose first alphabet is capital. Remember, multiple words combined together, the first word is fully small, remaining ones start with a capital letter. That's the variable naming syntax in Java. Again, one another logical thing to consider is the fuel capacity, because you just cannot add 2000 liters of fuel in your car. There is a limit, right? So I'm gonna have fuel capacity into the picture. Simulate driving the car for a certain distance. Remember, driving the car, it is a verb, right? So we need to have a method for that. I'm gonna say drive here. This is gonna be my action, reducing the amount of gasoline in the gas tank. Also find a way to get the current amount of fuel in the tank and fill gas in the tank. Now fill gas in the tank is a part where you will be interacting with the car object, trying to add some fuel. So I'm gonna say add gas here with the help of this method, that I'm gonna add gas to the car. And what else can I do? I can get or know or find out the current amount of fuel in the car. So I'm gonna say get fuel, or you can say get fuel level. So this completes the properties and actions that I need to consider for my class car with respect to this problem that I have in front of me. Now the question arises, what should be the data type, what should be the return type, and so on. Now think about this mileage. It can be 10.7 kilometers per liter, right? So I'm gonna have double for this over here. Now some of you are thinking, why not a float, why a double? Remember, the default data type for decimals in Java is double. So if you're using float, you're going to end up using something like this by say float f equals to 3.5 f. Also, if you're giving numbers, you need to typecast them. I don't like putting this f. I'm not a fan of typecasting either, so I'm going to stick to double in my videos. So here, double mileage. Again, amount of fuel can be something like 20.3 liters currently in your fuel tank. So I'm going to say double amount of fuel. Fuel capacity, it can be again a total 30.7 liters. So I'm going to say double fuel capacity. Now the question arises, drive, add gas, get fuel level, these are verbs, right? So they are going to be methods inside your program. Drive, what kind of return type it's gonna have? So for now, let's keep everything public void. I'm gonna say public void drive, and don't worry about the parameters either. I'm gonna say public void gas, add gas, and public void get fuel level. For each of them, remove the semicolon at the end. In the beginning stage, when you're designing a program, don't worry about what parameters, what return type, whatever. Keep everything void, keep the parameters empty, and just make the methods. We will think about the methods later. So here inside our main method, let's actually go and create a car object by saying car. My car is new car. Again, notice how the variable my car has been named. My is a separate word in English, car is a separate word in English, so the second word starts with a capital alphabet. This is what camel case was all about in Java programming. So at this point I can say my car. So here my car has been created. Now if I want to add gas to it, that's the first thing I need to do. I'm going to say my car dot add gas. So when you add gas in real life, you're supposed to specify the amount of fuel that you're adding. For example, you'll say something like my car dot add gas 10 liters of fuel, add 20 liters of fuel, add 25, so on, right? So I'm gonna say something like add 12.5 liters of fuel to my current fuel tank. So I'm gonna have a number here, 12.5. Inside the add gas method, this number 12.5 needs to be stored somewhere. So I'm gonna say double amount over here. I need to add this amount to my current level of fuel, which is given by double amount of fuel. So I'm going to say amount of fuel equals to amount of fuel plus amount. For example, if I already have 25 liters, this will, and I want to add 10 liters to it, this will be 25 liters plus 10 liters, which is 35 liters, and that 35 gets stored back inside amount of fuel. So this is how the add gas method works. Pretty simple, right? Now there is some considerations over here for the add gas method. In the next video I'm gonna discuss about it. In the meantime, if you guys like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next vid. Have a nice day.